think we are a go. Yeah, streaming a little late today. We have a holiday here, so anyway, got a little bit of a a late start. So, but I'll be able to stream a little bit past now, which is when I normally stop streaming. So, all right, we're working on our samurai game. Yesterday, we were just putting some touches onto our random generation. So if we find our guy here, we can press play. Let's give us a nice big map here. You'll see we've got can zoom out, we can look at the whole map here. So I've just filled the area with like a big green thing to kind of make it not look like we're on a cliff or something, but still want to do some background meshes around there to kind of make it feel a little bit more finished, but you can see the procedural generator makes a nice little thing. I think we might stop here on the procedural generation portion to focus on some enemies. So the stuff that we were working on the last few days was getting these kind of fencing things around so that, you know, at the end of the bounds of the level, you can't just walk off, right? So there's still some ways to glitch out of the level, especially with the way that I have the dash currently set up. I've noticed, like with just my guy, let's see if I can jump on this. Oh, I don't know if I can. I just jumped off. All right, let's do this. There we go. That's one of the benefits of the dash. You can kind of wipe out everybody all in one hit. Yeah, but one thing I noticed, it'll happen every so often on the cobblestone path, but you can stand on stuff. We find I don't think we can stand on top of these guys, but no. If I find a rock, like this rock here, right? So I just slid off, but if I go like, well, yeah, okay. Well, you saw I just glitched over the whole thing. And if I go up here, now I'm doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So you can kind of launch yourself. And once you launch yourself once, you can kind of launch yourself out of the map. So gonna have to figure that out. There are ways to like control the bounds. Like we don't want him to go over a certain height or something like that. We also just could make the colliders a little bit more unforgiving on the rocks and things like that. This guy fell off, I guess. There shouldn't be a all right. If I do P here, yeah, it shouldn't generate a nav mesh in here, but maybe it did. I don't know. Okay. So yeah, so I think our village creation system is working out okay for now. With the spawners, we're not totally in control of like we probably want to make those more nuanced, right? With like, you know, maybe there's 3 guys in this area, things like that. We'll have to figure that out to make the levels kind of more interesting. And then like enemy combos. So we're gonna have different enemy types. We're gonna have, I think the first guy we're gonna work on is a sword guy just because we have the animations for that. And then I want to make a spear guy and an archer, which will add a little bit of fun. Okay, so we don't have an animation blueprint for this guy yet, but we could, I believe, if I go into this and I give it the samurai blueprint, let's see what happens. I think they'll walk. All right, let's go. Let's see. All right, well, he goes into kind of idle mode, and then, so they're not in T-pose anymore, I guess, because I think they're in T-pose normally, right? Let's see. I think normally they're all walking around in T-pose. Yeah, so so if I put it in ABP, then so I want to create my own, obviously, or my own animation class for this, but let's just, I want to look at it. I'm probably going to copy a lot of what we have here. So we have our locomotion. Got this allows us to do like attacks, idle, and walk. So like, why we have a movement speed, and the movement speed is hooked up to this variable, which is probably set up in here, and it's probably set up based on the base player character, right? So this won't work for the enemy. So we could go back and make everyone based on something else. But I think we need, in order to do some of this, yeah, like the animation blueprint has like stuff that maybe we don't totally want for the enemies. Like they're not, I don't think they're gonna do dash attacks, but they might do this can attack thing. But so let's set up a new one. All right, we could even just copy this for now and then do it that way. All right, let's go. So we could, yeah, like we could use the base character or something. Guess we'll put it here. Copy here. All right, now we have this one. Let's rename it enemy. And, you know, we're probably going to build off of this because we're going to have different enemies. All right, can I make a different... I guess they're all using the same skeleton, so maybe I can't do a preview. A change in the preview, but... All right, so we're going to rename this variable. All right, let's make sure we don't mess up our samurai. So let's close that. All right, we're in enemy. We're just going to call this my character. And then we're going to do... Yeah, change it. Okay. Yeah, good. And then we'll have a movement speed, that's fine. And then in here, get pawn. This piece we don't want. Try to get pawn of the owner, right? And then we want to just cast this to a character. I don't even know if we need to do that, but this here. Okay. And then, yeah, okay. And then here, we're just gonna, yeah. Okay, so this should work in the game because we'll have already done this initialization, hopefully. I used to have errors for this, but let's see. Hello, square peg. So, okay, let's compile. So now we should have the movement speed because our character has a velocity, and that's like really where the player gets it to. So, and then we're not gonna need this one, but I think we might keep this. Okay. Compile and save that. Can I change my preview to the enemy? That's good. All right, that'll be less. Will not be saved until it is applied. Yes. Click here. Okay, I'll do that. All right. The last thing that we need to do, actually, yeah, let's do the default. Okay, then pull this up just to make sure we know it's there. Okay, now if we go into this, I think I was trying to set up some stuff. I have to look back at my notes of how to do this, but you can disable the ragdoll so that they're not all flopping around all the time. So you just give it some time to do their thing, then you make it inert. Just probably saves on resources and stuff. Okay, so I have a feeling that's good. How do I get back to my anim graph? Oh, there it is. Just got closed. Okay. So now we're idle. We're gonna do a walk animation here. All right, let's just see if this worked. Okay, come on. Yeah, they're walking. Look at them. I probably need to make like a run animation for just about everybody. Like, I would think that these guys, when they're attacking, are gonna be like, yeah. We are doing pretty good, Square Peg. We are making a procedural generated roguelike-ish samurai game. And I just beat my levels. All right, so we're just wiring up the animation right now. Looks like they're like kicking, like, help me. Oh, you know why? Because they're still walking. They're still trying to animate even with the ragdoll. That's kind of funny. Their arms kind of move too, right? Yeah. Well, in some ways it's even gorier with them kind of flopping around after they get killed. You're done. All right, who's left? The enemies can actually attack. They just don't animate their attacks right now. And they shouldn't be able to attack when they're dead. Okay. There's still one left. Or two. Who knows? I'm guessing he's glitched out somewhere. We're gonna be Terminator. We're just gonna go room by room looking for him. Looks like you can go off this pretty easily. Is this at the edge of a... must be between these two? Oh. I did not see a guy. He's around here somewhere. Alright, I have to go into cheat mode here. Could be fun to have a first-person perspective. So the reason why I quote know that this there's an extra guy somewhere is that the level will restart if you kill everybody. So where are you? He's got to be like in tree, like stuck in a tree or something. There he is. Kind of an interesting situation. I don't know. They might all float on the over the ground, but he seems to be kind of untethered. All right, let's drop our samurai guy back in. Where is he? Right over here. There we go. That's the other thing. Getting underneath these things, like you can lose your character, you can lose the enemies. Thank you, Square Peg. Yeah, the art, we haven't gone through and done like a lot of post-processing in here. There is kind of like, I kind of put together a post-process that makes it sort of like an old like film camera kind of is what's going on in here. The other I'll probably add a little bit more of this style as well to it. So this is my prototype here. So you can see we got some blur going on. So once I get the enemies back in, we'll add all the blood and the arms and legs falling off and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see that in here, but every now and then you'll see like a head go rolling or whatever. So I also have a day-night cycle in here, so it makes it all dark, but so yeah, this was my prototype, and I just so now we're a little bit more, we haven't like fully polished it, right? And then but now we have kind of infinite levels, so it kind of makes it a little bit more exciting. So imagine that prototype, but with these kind of infinite levels, and we might change the camera perspective back. I'm not sure. Some people like it high up like this because of the nature of clicking on the screen allows you to have more places to to click, things like that. So. And then once we get the basics down for this new release, we're gonna put a demo up on Steam so people can play it. So yeah. All right, so we got walking in. This guy can walk now, but he can't attack. And we do have attack animations. I don't think I exported them. I was trying to move over some of my Unity assets to see what I could use in the future, because I have a ton of old Unity assets and stuff, but like some of them are just models and things, they don't need Unity. So all right, let's go into my actual models folder. And, nope, that's not it. Why isn't it loading? Okay, game assets, no, go back. All right, so I have a samurai folder in here. I have two. Okay, I think it's this one. Oof. Okay. And I have this new enemy folder. We just have we just exported the guy. Okay. So we need to open up Blender. And we'll open up this guy. All right, here we are. Got our guy. Now I have to try to remember how to. There we go. Okay. The controls in Blender and in Unreal are different. So, all right. So we have this guy, and if we go into animation. All right, hold on. I gotta get into. Go back. Let's click. Oh. All right. So now we're in pose mode. We can kind of see this is our idle, which we already have. It's the same as the samurai guy. There's also this one called Ninja Attack, where he kind of attacks, but you can see it goes up to 30. So we'd have to change this to 30. Now, wow, wow. Okay. So this is our sword attack. It's okay. It's not good, but we can make our animations more dramatic someday. I have no idea how. I'm just kind of learning how to do this myself. So I was pretty happy with what I made. All right, so we have this. We're gonna do our 30 here, and then so, all right, I gotta bring up my game notes here. So I'm currently not looking at the chat. If you're saying anything, just hold on. All right, so I guess I can show you what I have here. I have notes on M has asked if I work in Unity also. I worked in Unity up until like around 2020, and then I switched over to Unreal. So I've been working in Unreal for about 4 or 5 years, depending on when I switched over. So I think the last version of Unity I had was something like 2018. I recently downloaded Unity again so that I could like look at some of the assets that I had. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I just Not that I haven't had an issue with Unreal destroying projects, but Unity was all like every time there was an update, it would like destroy whatever hard work I had. So at one point I had a space game that was like in VR and it was awesome. And then like I upgraded to another version of Unity and like everything was destroyed. And I was just like, I can't take this emotional roller coaster anymore. So that's why I dropped out of Unity. It's kind of way before like the latest, problems, but I think the problems were starting back then. Um, I opened up the editor the other day to look at stuff. It looks pretty cool. They definitely have updated it. I just don't know if I trust taking on long-term projects and using that system. And then I feel like Unreal is actually a lot less complicated in some ways. So I really like Unreal, and I really like blueprints because I feel like you can build stuff pretty quickly without a lot of the programming setup and stuff. So I find the workflow to be pretty fast, and I'm a programmer normally, so um, yeah. I think the only issue square peg that people have at this point with Unreal is just like that the system requirements are pretty high to have like a good you have to have a pretty good machine to run Unreal Engine 5. I have like an old gaming laptop that's like a 970 or a 980 GTX. So it has a good an old good graphics card in it, but like it chugs trying to use the editor. So yeah. So I do most of my stuff on this desktop, which is pretty solid for modern games. But yeah, some other folks have come to the channel and we were talking about that and they were having some problems. So yeah. Yeah, and I have a lot of projects that I'm currently working on, so um, I don't have a lot of bandwidth to work on other things. But if you want to share your idea that you're thinking of making it, um, that'd be cool. I'm sure people would be interested in hearing about it. Um, if you're learning Unreal and you have a powerful enough machine, I bet you could set up a prototype pretty quick. So that's half the battle. Get something on paper, But on paper, I mean in the engine. All right, so I want to select the armature and the mesh, and I want to export. Wait, that's the original thing that I did. Okay, let's go to animation only. All right, I want to get the animation in my action editor, make sure it's being shown. I think I need to export the rig. I think that's one thing I did not. Like, it might not matter, but I think I still need to select the armature and the mesh. But I don't know why. Scale. All right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Once you export, you can get a lot of the a lot of performance back. And there's a lot of tweaks I think you can do with your build as well. So, all right, let's see. It's been a little while since I've exported an animation. Been doing a lot of the Unreal stuff instead. All right, what do I have selected? I've got this selected. Actually, let's close this for a second. So I want, let's go back to object mode, I guess. All right, we'll select. Did I not rename this? This is body. It's supposed to be head. Okay, that's the actual body. All right, so I've got every. Is it being weird? It's being kind of weird. All right, and then. Okay, so I selected the whole armature and I selected the thing. I'm actually not sure I need to select any of the geometry for this because I'm just exporting the animation. I'm just exporting this ninja attack. So I have it selected. You can see the characters acting it out. And then I'm going to go to export FBX. With all things, trying to get stuff from Blender to Unreal, your mileage will vary with this stuff because have you seen the Send to Unreal add-on? I have not. I should probably check it out because it's kind of a pain. But you'll see it's actually not so much of a pain if you've sort of got all your settings right. So you just select all, then I'm just gonna select armature and mesh, even though I'm not really gonna use any of this stuff. And then this stuff is all fine. I'm gonna go into geometry. I'll just set this to faces again, just in case. That's all I need for that one. That's deform. And then I want to bake animations. Okay. Uncheck NL scripts and uncheck all actions. So I think this will export all the animations as one thing. I've done that before. That's really annoying. You really just want the one animation you selected. So, all right, let me just double check that I don't do anything else. Uncheck only. Oh, did I uncheck that now? Huh. All right. Okay, and then, so we're gonna rename this enemy attack. Okay. And then we'll export. Let's just double check. Yeah. Geometry. Yeah, okay. All right, let's give it a shot. Okay, so the very helpful Blender has maybe exported it. Didn't even give me a good job thing. So we can look in our new enemy. Here we go. We have this thing here. So yeah, it might be that the Unreal add-on has like a nice flow that's a little bit more like sets everything up for you. But we've got it right here. Okay, so now we're gonna go, I'm just gonna minimize. Okay, now inside our enemy, we're gonna go into the mesh, do it here, and we are going to import here. All right, we gotta go back to our new enemy. We're gonna open this. Okay, now this is where the real stuff, the real tricky part. Okay. So we can uncheck import mesh. And then we can select the skeleton. So I have this samurai skeleton that I'm using for everything, for all the kind of humanoid characters. And then that should be all I need to do to make this work. Gave me a bunch of angry messages. But you'll see. So this is applied to the samurai, right? Which is fine because that's the main, that's who this skeleton like originally belongs to. All right, but now we can create an attack montage for the enemy. Okay. So we'll take this and we will create an anim montage. I guess we'll continue to label it enemy. Okay. All right, so now we have this montage. So we have an animation, a montage. Like we could probably divide this up into some folders, but all right. So now we have that, and then inside here, so this is inside the enemy base class. And we might have to modify this if we start making like different enemies are gonna have different types of animations, so we probably need to do that. Okay, let's see. Oh no, we do the attack somewhere else. We do the attack in our AI, I think. Oh, okay. So this is kind of new because we don't do the attacks in AI in the prototype. So, all right, let's look at our behavior tree. Going through the whole program today on the stream. Okay, so if we are at the location, we do this attack. Okay, so I would probably want to see if we could like maybe either call a custom event or fire off like an event listener here. So we have access to our controlled pawn. We could do like an interface. I feel like the issue is I want to share most of this base code with a bunch of different enemies, so I don't want to write myself into a corner here. I mean, this might not even be, maybe we shouldn't even be doing like applying damage inside this behavior tree attack function, but this was kind of an easy way to do it at the time, so we might just want to, let's just look at the behavior tree again. So basically what this does is if we're right next to the player or whatever target, like we could set these guys against each other, I guess. They're going to start to attack, and then they're going to wait a quarter of a second. All right. This behavior tree doesn't actually work super well, but they do patrol, they do attack, they do have a cooldown. Okay. Yeah. I kind of want to put some of this stuff on the enemy base class. So and I think we could have this be aware of the base class, and then it would still work with the other ones. So, because we're gonna make child classes of this basically. So, I don't know. I guess we'll give it a shot. Okay, so custom event. Attack. Basically, what we're going to do for the attack is we're going to play touch. All right, there's a couple ways to play this. There's like two different ones. So this one, might just work automatically. Let's see. All right, I want to play this attack. It's a little slow. All right, and then we will do the damage thing here. Okay. I'm sure we'll organize that better in the future, but let's just say they have a base attack damage. We could base this on like a component that's like a weapon or something too. This guy is meant to be somewhat modular. We could actually change like the color of his clothes and stuff, so we can have a bunch of different versions of him. And I want to give him a hat. Okay, so that's what this is doing. It's just doing -1. My health system is based on that, like if you want to do positive or negative. So we need to know it's a negative attack. It's a, you know, a bet, like take health away. So I'm just doing it inside the apply rather than adding, like negating or whatever. Okay, so inside here, and so we would probably want to make this -1 here. All right. Now we just need this. And I think I want to send this to them, to the enemy. So let's go here. We're going to add an input to this event. What do we have here? Oh, we don't know. But it's just an actor reference, so that's probably fine. Actor. That's pretty basic. But if you do actor, you know, you could attack a wall or something. Okay. Now we have this. We should call it something. I guess let's call it target. We will put it here. It's a little confusing having it go right through this, but could fix that. All right. This should just work. Okay, and then the other thing that we're not doing is we should have like a animation notification that will then apply the damage, but we're just gonna do this for now. Okay, and now let's save this in our thing here. We are going to I don't know if we can. This is where an interface would work. A better way to do it would be an interface. Because now we have to cast. Because basically what I want to do is just go attack. But that's not going to show up in a base pawn. So we could make an interface to do it. That might be what we want to do. All right. Where does the interface live? Probably here. Uh-oh. Actor, pawn, hold on. Cancel. It's all in here. Okay. Blueprint. Print interface. Do we just want to make a basic one just called enemy? It's really, currently it's just for attack, but if you have the attack interface, you can do attack stuff. Yeah, okay, we'll just keep it simple for now. All right, so in here, we want a new function called I guess we're gonna have to like label this better, right? Because it's an interface now, which means that it's kind of globally available, and then we just figure out whether something can do it. So if we just name it attack, then it might be confusing because we don't know which interface we're talking about, right? So there probably is a convention for naming interface functions. All right, so we have this enemy attack, and what do we want? We want an actor. Just do object reference. Call it target. Okay. I'm just gonna label it so that we know what we were doing. Okay, so now we have this. We're gonna go back here. We're gonna go back here. Okay, we're gonna take this. We're gonna sadly we're gonna delete it. Okay, now we're gonna go into our class. I think this is where we do it. Just want to double check. Yeah, that's all right. Let's add. We're going to do that. Now we have access to this. So if I do enemy all right, I think I want to override it actually. So let's go here, interfaces. All right, so now we have this custom event that's from the interface. And other enemies can also override it and do what they want to do with it. And we don't have to cast, and we get the target that we wanted before, and hopefully everything works. And then now in our this, we can just go enemy attack, and then we're just sending a message. Why do I have two targets? That's weird. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So one is I shouldn't call it target. I gotta rename this. All right. Attack target, we should call it. Okay, attack target. Where is it? Because target's like a default thing throughout. Let's refresh this. All right, now we know which one's which. Okay, so we're gonna do controlled pawn, and then our attack target is this, and we're going to remove that, and then we'll do this. Okay, so now we're just gonna call this if we can. We're just gonna send the message out, and hopefully it goes to this controlled pawn, which implements this interface. And if it doesn't, then nothing happens. And unfortunately, you can't check that, but yeah, it's better this way, I think. Okay, so you could do a check to see if implements interface do it also. Could do that check. Implements interface. So you could do that. And then we could branch off of it. I don't think this is expensive, but so All right, I'm back. Just give me 1 second. So yeah, so I was thinking of making this a check, and then we can just signal to ourselves if this failed, right? So if this returns true, then we'll attack, and then if it returns false, we could like print a log or something. Yeah, we'll just print a log, and then we will say format text. Enemy. And then we can put this here. That will sort of give us kind of what we want. That might spam the logs a lot, but all right, let's put this here. All right, we can organize this a little bit better now. It's kind of like a check here. Let's put this right underneath the check, and then, all right. So you don't need to do this check, but it would be good for debugging to know that like if we get to a point where like an enemy's not attacking, could be that I forgot to add the interface or something. Stay tuned in the future where that might be the case, where I forget to do that. All right, let's just see if this even works, right? Okay, so we have, this is our behavior tree function. So when we get to the enemy, we're gonna call this, which is gonna do this, which hopefully works. And this, all this does is be an interface. So that's cool too. And then, does this highlight anything about it? Yeah, used by BT to send a text. So you have this, okay. I think I wrote it just, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this does nothing if target, yeah, okay. So this would just like silently fail, which is fine. It's kind of what we want, but we also want to let people know that we need it. All right. Okay. So this is angry at us now. So we will delete that and do this. Okay. Now our interface is going to call this montage and do this damage, and hopefully only every 0.2 seconds, because that will be annoying to, actually this is going to take longer than 0.2 seconds probably, so I don't know, I just want to see what happens. Let's go. Now none of them have a weapon, so they're just going to make a funny, oh, it's like a, yeah, so they're they look really funny. All right, let's go to our behavior tree, and instead of waiting for a quarter of a second, let's wait 2 seconds. This is going to make the enemies very underpowered, but we will hopefully see their animations now. Let's see. We need to put a sword in their hands. Ha! Yeah. So we probably want to speed up the attack too. Okay. if I go to the view, I don't think I've imported any actual weapons, so what I can do, I'm gonna hide the that didn't hide it. That's not what I want to hide. Is it this? Yeah. It's visible. So I'm make it invisible. Okay. So here we have our guy, and so we could make a whole actor component just for weapons and then have everything just be attached to the weapon that we add. I am not going to do that right now. I believe it's this hand that does the attacks. We might need to attach this to a socket though. I think it's hand right. Okay, yeah, whenever I attach something to a socket, it goes crazy. So let's see, we'll put this back. Put this, it's like some giant thing now. Yeah, okay. I don't understand that actually. Why does it take the, it does something weird with the scaling when you attach stuff to sockets. All right. It does it with like a regular mesh too, actually, so it's still. And then I'm just going to make this not have collision because we don't really need it right now. Yeah, collision. All right. Let's just see what that looks like. So the player has it too. All right. Attack me. Kind of look like they're using a bat. So like if one guy comes up, I think the other, well, it's fine. Okay. Okay, so I think that the animation is very slow. And I also think we need to do something with the montage to trigger the damage portion and probably prevent like you don't want the player to get hit if they moved away before the animation completed. So, let's go to, where should we control this? Maybe we can control it here. This is the the rate scale. We could do it faster. So we could do that. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. All right, for now. I'm not impressed with my attack animations. Okay. Kind of like the player one, but like the sword swipe is not dramatic enough. So, okay, in the montage, that's where we need to go next. Oh, was the montage what I edited? I did edit the montage. Okay. All right, so in here, you could create a notify, and you can do. So we have a start dash and a can attack again. That's for the player, and neither of them really apply to what we want. So let's do a new one called new notify, and we'll call it enemy attack. We'll call it enemy hit. All right, now the tricky part is, let's go look at our guy from here. It's gonna look really janky because this is not the, I think this is the upswing, right? I think right there is where we want our hit. All right, anyone in the way here is in trouble. Okay. Yeah, all right, save. Okay, so then you go back to your blueprint, the animation blueprint. And just like we have this can attack again one, we can do anim notify, enemy hit. All right, now in here, we could call an event just like we did before for the player. I'm actually gonna delete this because yeah, I don't think we need that because we don't have those events on the enemy, but we do have an interface on the enemy, right? So we could make a new interface. Or we could like do an apply damage here for the attack. This is one of the problems with like having kind of animations that are attack animations. Like if you want your animation to sync up with the code, you kind of have to have some like broken up phases of your attack. It can't just all be in one event. So let's do it. Okay. So we're going to make a new event on our interface, which is not this. This is fine. Oh wait, what did I just close? Anyway, okay. We're gonna do something with that. We need the interface now. Content drawer. All right, let's go back to our blueprints, go back to our characters, go back to our, and we've got our interface. All right, so now we have enemy attack, and now we're gonna do, we'll just call it enemy hit, or enemy hit target, because enemy hit could be like you got hit or something, right? I don't know. So this at least says we're attacking and we hit him. Okay, and then do we need any more knowledge? Do we need the target again? Huh. We could do, we could set the attack target during the attack and then could apply the damage with that rather than passing it around, because we'll have to pass it around here. That's not good. Okay, so let's leave this as it is. No inputs. In here, we're gonna say enemy hit target message. All right. Ooh, doesn't like it. Oh, because the target, we need my character. So if my character implements the interface, we'll do it. Okay, so that's that. All right, now in here, we're going to override this. And in here, we're going to promote to a variable called attack target. And we will not be putting any damage here. Do it down here. Okay, so these are kind of our attack logic. We could put comment around them, I guess, and call it make it red. Okay. We could say, oops. Called by, this is called by the animation blueprint, right? And this one called ET. All right, so that's how we know these are happening. Okay, so this is going to cause damage. It's going to cause -1 damage. And it's not going to be noticeable. Well, we still want to make sure that the player is in range to do this. I think in the previous, the prototype I have a like a overlap collider on the enemy, and then if they're overlapping it, so like I'll do something like this. Maybe we'll do it right now. All right, let's see. So like if we put a box collider here, all right, and if we have them within this space, right? Okay, and then overlapping actor. Okay. And then the actor we want to overlap is the attack target. And then let's make this bigger. Move this out. And we will say, let's print not in range, maybe. Okay, and then print, if we apply the damage, we'll print in range. We'll know this is working because we'll see the damage happening. Okay. And then this goes here. All right, so now we're checking the player is within the range of the attack. All right, let's make it easy on our enemy here. If he comes in range. And then see how it says non-range, so then it didn't. The one issue that I have here is that we are in range, but we are not causing any damage. Oh, because I didn't wire it up, did I? We are not attacking the attack target. Okay, so now we have this. Not bad. Man, now we just have to implement all the blood and gore effects, which, yeah, adding the ability to chop off limbs and stuff is pretty complicated. Hopefully we can keep the code looking nice. All right, everyone who's around me is in range, so that's good. Cool. Oh, they're still trying to attack too. That's funny. Probably need to. So now we can escape our attackers. We just want to walk away. We can try to hit us, but they'll miss. So that's kind of important for the player's sense of fairness in the game, right? If you actually see an attack not collide with the player, then especially with this where you can dodge away so fast, right? So, all right, let's go. We're getting close. All right, I am going to save my work. Edited attack. And logic to base enemy. We did. All right. Wonder why the skeleton asset updated, but it's alright, it's fine. All right, commit. All right, so I think that's where we're going to stop the stream today. Hopefully that was interesting to folks. We covered a lot of ground, a lot of different systems and stuff. So if there's anything that you want to see on the stream or on the channel about the game, leave a comment on the video. I will try to accommodate that. So I definitely watch for comments for the recorded version of the stream. So the chat seems to kind of go away, but the comments I can see. So yeah, if you have any questions or you want to see something. Right, we definitely need to turn off the animations. I actually don't know. I don't know if maybe they're just wiggling because of the physics. I don't think they can actually walk if their velocity is, unless their velocity is not 0 or something, but it looks like the velocity is 0, right? Yeah. All right, so that's it for the stream today. Thanks for tuning in. This is the roguelike samurai game that I'm working on.